I'll make sure the fucking Wi-Fi is hooked in. Yes, it is. All right. We're live.
Oh, shit, we are.
Yes, we are live right now. Fucking
Yeah.
let the room fill up a little bit if there's even anyone around. Give it like 2 minutes.
Yeah, this one doesn't really have a good start without Dylan. Dylan's usually moshing on someone by now.
Yeah, that is very true. Dylan's absence is very much noticeable. Dylan is sick right now. Otherwise, he'd be here right now. That's
He's
why it's
also
a little smaller.
Hasn't answered either.
Yeah, we should probably check on him. You might be dead.
Dylan, if you join this thing, I'm going to be so mad. You know what? Honestly, he probably would, because that would be funny to him.
Well, you know what? If he joins this thing, then we're going to fucking try and get him on here. What's up?
Who's that?
I can't see.
I can't see either.
Yeah, this is why we also need Dylan, because we can't really see the chat from here, because we have terrible eyesight, and I have glasses on, man.
I have LASIK, and I can't even see that shit.
Well, when Mike gets his phone out, then he can check to see who's up.
Oh,
but thank you guys for joining us. We're going to let the room fill up a little bit, and then tonight we got a review for the comic book UltraMega, review of Nope, and a review of Smile. And me and Mike are going to talk a little bit about our trip to see Prayer for Cleansing.
Oh, yeah. Dude, you know what's crazy? That was, like, just 2 Saturdays ago.
That was 2 weeks ago?
No, not 2 weeks.
2 Saturdays ago.
So, like, not this past Saturday.
So, Mike.
Who's that?
Oh, Mike Herring. Colorado, home mountain.
He was at Dylan's wedding, right?
Yar.
Yep.
He's one of our best men. Really good guy to ask about stoner metal and doom metal, too.
Oh, Mike. What were we listening to that he would like? Was it Section 8? Not Section Hate. Section 8. I used to think they were from Connecticut for some reason, but they're from upstate New York. Which kind of makes sense. But, like, I don't know what kind of music you like, Mike, but they sound like, I don't know, Crowbar meets...
Oh, that band that we played on the way back?
Yeah, it literally sounds like Crowbar meets Acid Bath fight music.
Yeah, Mike, check out Section 8. They're fucking sick. I'll send you a link later in the chat.
Super heavy Life of Agony, but I shouldn't say Life of Agony, I should say Troycore influence. Like, they're definitely, like, in there, up there with Stigmata and Dying Breed, like, that kind of vocals. Maybe, like, a little bit of 100 Demons-ish, but, like, this guy's vocals are crazy. They remind me of...
It's all him, too, right?
Yeah, it's all one guy, I'm pretty sure, but and he just reminds me of, what's Homeboy's name from that band Snot that passed away? The vocalist.
I don't remember the guy's name, but I know the vocalist.
The vocalist from Snot, like, he's, like, the guy from Snot sounds like a crazier Phil Anselmo, but, like, the dude from Section 8, like, it's literally that, but, like, advanced. I don't know. That's insane that no one even talks about that band. Like, you can,
well, they're very not, like...
They're
not that known, because I didn't really know about them too much until you told me about them.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, no one...
They sounded familiar.
No one talks about them. That's why I like showing people music like that. Like, I was talking to Sam the other day. Who's that? Tony. Is it Tony? I can't read. I was talking to Sam from Stab God, and what was the band? Oh, he was talking because we were listening to that band Statecraft.
Yeah.
If you haven't heard of Statecraft, really sick, early 2000s, like Japanese brutal metalcore, like edge metal. That's what I would call it, but it's really fucking good. And he was just talking to me about them. He sent me a crazy video of them playing somewhere in Japan in like 2004. And I was telling him about that band Stamping Ground. I just like sharing bands that don't get enough like shine. Like,
we should do that. But like at the end of the show, we should really go into like, hey, bands you might not have heard of.
Well, I wanted to do that a little bit with if we ever make that zine, the Hardcore Rapport. I want to put in the back, like, all right, here's a bunch of old bands that you should listen, but more specifically, here's a bunch of old bands from Long Island you should listen to. Like, I want to, there's people need to know about, people need to know about fucking, Trip Face and
Trip Face, that's a band that doesn't get talked about a lot.
Yeah, like, Silent Majority, Lariat,
Millhouse.
Yeah, Millhouse is super sick.
Which is early Most Precious Blood.
Yeah, I think, because that guy Artie was in that band, right? Yeah.
It's like,
But, yeah, there's a lot of Long Island bands that, like, you wouldn't know
fucking
about.
Cleanser.
See, like, bands like Cleanser or Southpaw or, Frank was telling me about a band that I remember seeing their CD at Mr. Cheapo's. Definitely a local band. I know there's a band that shares a name with them now called Domain. But he was telling me, he's like, yeah, man, like Pat Matt or Pat Chalk or something like that. He's like, I went to like, I knew these guys in a hardcore band called Domain. And I remember in Mr. Cheapo's, there was a CD older than, you know, the past couple of years and said Domain. I'm like, that's weird that I would remember that. But yeah, that's a good idea. We should save for either the end of the show or the zine.
I would say the end of the show for now until we could get up and running with the zine. We got a lot of stuff in the works right now, which I'll promote after we get through everything today.
I was about to jump the gun.
Yeah, you almost jumped the gun there. But right now we're gonna have a review. Well, actually, it's gonna be just my own personal review of a comic book called UltraMega. I read volume 1, so I think it's like 4 issues, I think, and it's done up by. I actually have notes this time. Excuse me while I try to look professional.
Dead air.
Dead air. It's written and drawn by James Herron, which is very rare to have an artist and the writer be the same person on a comic book that's fucking cool. It's by Image Comics, the guys that produce Spawn and Youngblood and all that awesome fucking shit that I love. But Image has always been the forerunner of indie comics since the 90s, and this is no exception. Like, if you like kaiju movies, if you like Escape from New York, like John Carpenter kind of style stuff, you're gonna like this. It is fucking phenomenal. It shows you basically like this Ultraman style power is given to these people to protect Earth from kaijus, which is actually a virus that's transmitted between humans, and out of nowhere a human can just turn into a giant fucking kaiju. And so it shows the battles and how bloody they actually are. Like you see in like a lot of the animes and shit like that, maybe not so much animes, but like Ultraman or even Godzilla movies, you don't see them getting gored up and like blood pouring.
There's usually
none of that shit, right?
Even in the old movies, there's probably only 2 movies that I can even think about where you saw blood, and one of them is Godzilla versus Megalon and Gigan.
Really? There was some blood in that?
Yeah, because Gigan has hooks for hands, so when he's flying at Godzilla, they recycle the same shot.
Well,
That's the reason I don't even know. No, because they've used the same shot in another one where it's Gigan and Ghidorah fighting Anguirus and Godzilla.
Okay.
But in the original one...
No, those ones are notorious for rehashing.
Yeah, but the only reason I even brought it up is because the one I'm talking about is Godzilla and Jet Jaguar.
Oh, Jet Jaguar.
Versus fucking Gigan and Megalon. And Gigan flies at Godzilla and he fucking clips him right in the shoulder and like blood sprays out of his shoulder.
Wow. That's actually kind of cool.
And I'm like, whoa. I never see that.
That's
Godzilla just got fucked
cool.
up. Like, and there's maybe one other time I can't remember, but they used that shot twice of Godzilla getting cut by Gigan.
That's cool. But like I said, you don't see that in fucking movies or even in like some of the old mangas and comics and stuff. But like in this, like people are getting like punched through and shit. Like there's one death of one Ultraman guy where he's literally impaled through like a giant skyscraper and you see guts everywhere. And the thing is, by the end of a fight, the blood will flow out like a fucking flood into the city. And it'll clot over. So people that were drowning in the blood suffocate to death because they're being buried alive simultaneously. It's crazy where this book goes. It goes from kaiju battles to some Escape from New York post-apocalyptic shit after the kaijus destroy everything. It's a fucking cool read. And like, it's, you read one of these books, and this is why I want to go off about comics, because these are the blueprints to great movies. This would be an amazing movie, and it's just enough like empty space where you have to kind of put stuff in for yourself that a good fucking director can make this awesome. But I'll put up the link for you guys to read it. I also still owe you guys for what was the other book that I did the review for?
Something Enos.
Oh, for Crossed. It wasn't Crossed.
Wasn't Crossed. Oh, dude, side thing. Sorry, ADD. Someone posted this thing. It was like
I'll figure it out. Then I'll put the links up.
Punisher versus Wolverine, and it was Garth Ennis.
Oh, dude.
That did the illustrations for it. I'm like, I need to...
he's a writer.
For that one? Oh, sorry. In general. Sorry.
In general, he's a writer.
So, he did that one. So
he probably wrote it, then.
I'm assuming it's going to be extremely violent.
Yes.
So, that's where I more so why I want to get my hand on
because I think that might have been part of, like, the Marvel Max line,
I mean,
where they actually allowed blood and shit like that.
Yeah, like, whatever. Because, like, anything with that guy's name attached to it, I'm assuming it's going to be scarring. Like it's gonna be horrific. Because there's some panels in Crossed where it's like, you know what? I don't really need to look at this again.
Oh yeah, no, like
especially in like the first chapter.
Oh yeah, because here's the thing: in that first issue, they tell you straight up, this is what this book is gonna give you. If you're not with it, you got to get out.
Literally, yeah, because that guy that thought salt kept him away.
Yep. I don't ruin it.
I'm not saying anything.
But
I'm not saying.
If you want, also Crossed, one of the craziest gore comics to ever come out. It is pretty fucking intense,
and it's a really good story.
But there's no happy ending. I'll tell you that right there is no fucking happy ending.
It's very bleak. It's very 28 Days Later.
And I think I've said it on the cast already, or I've at least said it to you in person for anyone that's watching that I've talked to about movies. The Sadness on Shudder. It's, I believe, either Japanese or a Korean film, and it is the best adaptation of Crossed you will ever get, because the director literally said, I wanted to do Crossed. But, you know, he obviously couldn't do it in the U.S. because you can't get away with a lot of this shit.
Oh, no.
But they did it in such a way in this movie where it's like, all right, you get the point, and they didn't show like too much. It's still gory as fuck. Yeah, they don't show too much.
They talk. They nail it. They talk about some stuff happening, but like, yeah, there's some scenes you just can't straight up even show.
No,
you literally cannot.
That's why I think they've been trying to actually do an American version for a while, but it's like you can't. There's certain things you just can't adapt.
Dude, like I feel like you would need like
without doing it like not justice, because you could do like a soft version, but it's gonna suck.
Yeah, no, the whole thing is it's brutal. And I feel like, I don't know, maybe like, I don't fucking know. Like, you have to somehow get permission. Like, go to watch the show and they're like, fucking be prepared. Punch in your passcode, watch this shit. Yeah. Because, like, kids should definitely not watch that.
Oh, yeah, no, that has to be like part of like a restricted section or something.
That's like way too intense. It's like a grown-ass adults should be.
Dude, it was intense even for me when I first read it. I read it like fucking like 7 years ago or something. I'm like, this is crazy. I read that
like less than a year ago, and I'm like, this is really fucked up. I
love how Dylan fucking hated it.
Dylan hated it, and I'm just like, Dylan, I'm not saying that this is up your alley, but like I feel like
no, because he has a point. It is so nihilistic and it is so like dark that it's to the point where it's gratuitous, and it's like, if I know for a fact there's no happy ending, why am I reading this? So that he has a point to why he doesn't like it. And
morbid curiosity.
But that's the thing, and that's what keeps me going for that series. There's a series called Cross Badlands that continues the story, and it's about 100 issues.
Oh, that's a lot.
And they're all equally as fucked up. Because it's all done by different artists and different writers every time. It's awesome. But anyways, we went off on a huge tangent. But yeah, UltraMega, great kaiju comic, gory as fuck, and the story is just awesome, the way it goes. And the only problem is that it's been out for a minute and Volume 2 hasn't come out yet, and I'm getting worried that it just got canceled. Because they left it off on a cliffhanger, and that pisses me off.
This is UltraMega. Dude, they're drawing it.
Dude, I don't know. You can't. It doesn't take that much longer to draw. I mean, I'm not gonna say because I'm not an artist, but digitally.
No! Like, it's definitely faster, but it still takes a long time. Like,
because I feel like I don't know if I guess the writing has to be. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. No, you're right. Because I am stoked for Volume 2.
It's more so like digital's really good because you can't fucking smudge. If you mess up, you can erase. It makes coloring way easier, but you're still sitting there and you're not putting physical pen to paper, but you are.
And this guy is actually writing and drawing it.
Yeah, so it's probably a little fucked up, but also his art. Well, the artwork that.
It's actually very good artwork. I think I showed you like a panel or two when I had the book here.
Yeah, it's pretty detailed.
It's crazy.
Yeah, no, I brought it up to you. The Godzilla Goes to Hell. If anyone has not read that, Godzilla Goes to Hell, really cool kaiju comic. And it's, exactly.
It's Godzilla.
It's exactly what it fucking says. But it's a really cool spin on stuff. And definitely some really crazy illustrations in that.
Another good Godzilla book. I'll bring it over next time. I think it's called Godzilla, like Legacy War or something. Godzilla Century War. And it's done by an artist I really love called James Sticco. Fantastic. That guy is the best in like really trippy fucking art. He uses a lot of color in the palette, and it's like cartoony, but it's super detailed cartoony. But I'll bring it in next time. But anyways, I guess the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna do a small review of Nope. That's the new Jordan Peele joint.
Are we doing spoilers for this?
All right, so for I feel like Nope's been out for a while now, and I feel like unless I don't know if it did well in theaters. I'll say that. Um, I don't know. Anyone in the chat? Do you guys care if we do fucking spoilers for any of this shit? Like just anybody. I don't even care.
There's 3 people.
I don't even care. Anyone.
Dana. Whoa, is this the first podcast Sky is not here?
Yeah, well, she probably has a life.
Well, listen, I fully understand that. I'm just taking notice.
I'm taking notice. I'm taking notes. Your chances are probably nobody's in here, to be honest.
Oh, they might have been here early. Sorry, she might have been here earlier before, but like, I can't see shit.
Yeah, well, that's why you have your phone. But anyways, you know what? Just for the sake of whatever, we're just gonna talk Nope with spoilers. The only one I'm gonna leave out of spoilers is Smile, and just because Nope I think has more of a discussion value to it. Hold on. All right, thank you, Alex. Alex said we could do spoilers.
Thanks, Alex. If we didn't have that permission.
And just because Nope I think has more of a stop incepting us, Mike.
Well, shush.
Lord. All right. Oh, wow, Mike, you joined. How crazy.
Oh, well.
Anyways, so, yeah, we'll do Nope with spoilers. Smile, I think we're going to do Absent. Well, actually, in Smile, you really don't really even...
I can't even tell you.
You can't even really spoil that much, because once you really understand what the movie is, it's like, you know what's going to happen. Like, you kind of see what's going to happen with it. But, anyways, for Nope, I really like this because actually I just did a top 5 movies with Marcy on our other podcast, X Over. Shout out to Marcy and X Over podcast. But it was one of my top 5. I forgot which number I had it on. I think I had it at like number 2 or 3. But Nope, I thought was a really good take on like a UFO alien movie. Like It was really it goes in a direction where I'm like, oh wow, so they did this instead. Okay. So it becomes an awesome alien movie. Not only that, a great creature feature too. But this movie's kind of divisive. I've seen the reviews and stuff for both ends.
Some people aren't into fucking creature features, and I'm like, if that's what they get, if they think this is a horror movie, if you think this is people are gonna get stabbed, if you think it's gonna be like a rip 'em up movie, it's not that.
Well, no, but I don't think that's the thing that people thought.
Well,
that.
I think people thought that it was gonna be a horror movie, and it's definitely not.
I think also a lot of people, because Jordan Peele is obviously known for Get Out, which is one of the best horror movies of the past decade, that his expectation for all his movies since then have been high. So everyone's just like expecting this, and not for nothing, he does get a little overly artsy with this movie. With some of the stuff that he does, like he breaks it up into sections where so the story breaks down where there's this family of horse ranchers, but these horse ranchers are also animal trainers for movies, and this is all one big statement about like pretty much trying to tame an animal too, along with some other stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, they tame horses so that they could be a part of movies. And one day, the father gets killed by some freak accident.
Who's motherfucking Keith David?
Which was awesome until they killed him off. Fucking like.
Yeah, I was pretty upset about
that. That's not even too much of a spoiler because he literally dies just like in the first like 5 minutes of the movie.
Yeah, but whatever. It's Keith.
It's Keith David, and not for nothing too. It's like it's kind of cool that they just kind of threw him there because that Jordan Peele was just like, I just want Keith David in my movie.
They're probably just hanging out.
Yeah.
It was like,
hey, you want to just be in this real quick?
I have an extra cowboy hat, and you're already wearing jeans. Like, you know, ride a horse.
Imagine Keith David actually showed up with the hat already.
Honestly,
I wouldn't be surprised to be honest.
Dude, honestly,
Keith David's a G.
If we could have any celebrity guest, I would definitely bring Keith David, and I would annoy the shit out of him with questions from the thing.
There's so many questions I would ask him about like everything he's been in.
Dude,
They Live.
Oh yeah, no, They Live. Community, like.
Oh man, he was actually really good in that too.
He was hilarious in Community. He was really funny. Yeah. It's really rare where you can find someone who's genuinely funny.
You know, actually
a fantastic voice actor.
He did the voice of Black Panther as a voice.
I'm just saying, dude, like he killed voice actor, fucking hilarious just by himself, and he's a really good serious actor too.
Oh, absolutely.
And he can take on many different roles, which is just like, dude, you are like awesome.
Yeah, dude. And he's like in a lot of our favorite movies and shit, which is...
Dude, he's like all the time. Like, why are you always Keith David is a reoccurring theme in my
Not for
life.
nothing. I'm like, if it's in a bad movie and I see Keith David and I'm like, oh, all right, this kind of elevates.
That's
it a
the
little
only
bit.
reason we watched that fucking what was that shitty horror movie
Which one?
that had Keith David in it, and it was the only reason we watched it. Tales from the Hood 2.
Oh yeah. Oh god.
Yeah, Keith David's in that movie.
And you know what?
He doesn't save it.
He doesn't save it, but he was having fun with that role.
Oh no, he knew it was a pile of shit.
Yes, and he actually like he did a good job as being like the hood crypt keeper for that one. I liked him in that. He's actually the only reason I even remotely liked that movie. Besides the fact that I just like because even as a bad movie it pissed me off. But anyways,
also
all
he's
right.
in fucking Chronicles of Riddick.
He is.
Also, it's on Tubi for the next 4 days, so watch that shit.
Tubi sponsor us.
Tubi.
Tubi sponsor us.
Tubi.
I'm telling you, it's awesome because all the shit's free.
Oh yeah, it's yeah.
If you could deal with the commercials, which aren't that bad, you could deal with it.
Yeah, no, and also there's a pretty cool Kevin Bacon movie on there called Stir of Echoes. I've definitely shouted this movie out before. I only recently discovered that movie, but it is pretty old. But it's good. It is really cool. Would definitely recommend it, especially since it's fucking free. Just download Tubi and just watch it.
Anyways, since we went on a whole tangent on Keith David.
Sorry, I have small.
I have passions. I'm a passionate man.
Yeah, now I gotta make a Keith David shirt.
You do have to make a Keith David shirt.
Gooned up David.
They're just gonna be Keith David. Nothing special. Just a picture of his face.
Yeah,
that's it. Actually, we probably get very sued for that. We should do that.
We should just ask him to be on the podcast.
All right, someone DM Keith David for us to see if we could.
It's probably at Keith David.
I don't think that's it. It's too obvious.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it's keithdavid@gmail.com.
Oh Jesus! It might actually be. I'm gonna try that later.
I learned that from The Office.
Oh God.
Everyone's famous is their regular fucking name at Gmail.
Anyway, so he dies within the first 5 minutes of that movie.
He does.
And after that, it's basically just the family trying to keep up with everything because now they can't get work because they're not experienced enough to take the horses out on these movies. Like the next scene is them like really trying to struggle to get this horse to work out a movie, and it freaks out and they get fired. So then he has to automatically, right from there, sell the horse to kind of not even really their competitor, kind of like their frenemy neighbor, who's Steve Yeun, who plays Jupe, which he did an awesome job in this. And here's one thing I'll say about this too. This could have been 2 separate movies. Like, this could have been something just about the alien, and then another one about this side thing that they have going on to kind of just illustrate the whole, like, trying to tame an animal thing they have going. So Steve Yeun is the grown-up version of a kid's actor who underwent something traumatic on set with the last sitcom he was a part of, which was an ape or a chimpanzee going crazy and killing pretty much half the cast on stage in front of a live studio audience. And I kind of wish they went more into that. I think that could have been its own separate movie, which would have been fucking crazy. Like, just Steve Yeun just kind of trying to cope with this horrible thing that happened. And it's kind of crazy because, like, it does play into what happens with this movie. The whole idea of him trying to take control of something going crazy like that. Like, you've heard about, like, how terrifying chimpanzee attacks are.
I was literally talking about it today at work. Weirdly enough.
I was already speaking about this.
That poor woman who was chimp sitting. It wasn't even her fucking chimp. Ate her fucking face off, bro.
Yep.
She doesn't have a face. She got a face transplant, but like, she ain't got eyes or lips or none of that shit. And you know what?
It's crazy too because in this movie they actually show you kind of a survivor from the sitcom attack, and she looks fucked up.
Yeah, I think it was Stan Winston School that did. Well, I forgot who did the makeup for it.
I think it was Stan Winston.
But yeah, the prosthetics are really cool.
Yeah, and honestly, it's horrifying because like chimpanzees, they go after your face, and your fingers, balls, and your groin. So, and in this, they actually just show like, I don't even know if they really do it this much, but they show him like bashing like one of the, like, you see it kind of off camera, but they do a good job.
They do.
The sound though, you hear like the splash of the blood and the crunch of the bone, and it's just like, you just hear gurgling and then just stop. Like you don't hear any more noise anymore. Like they do a really good job with it. And you know what's crazy? I mean, I might have been high. I mean, I'm always high, but the chimpanzee actually looked really real. Like the CG wasn't bad.
Oh yeah, no, he looked pretty fucking real.
Like the chimpanzee looked pretty real. Like I actually thought it was like a chimpanzee for like a minute there. Like it not for nothing. Like the CGI in this, it holds up okay.
Yeah,
And you know it's CGI, but it holds up alright. Especially like some of the wide shots they have of the alien craft.
Yeah, the actual creature in this movie is
crazy.
It's crazy. It's so much so that I can't even ruin it for you because it's too hard to describe. Like, just watch it because it's
yeah, it's
I don't
very
really have
interesting
words.
design.
It's very original. I'll give it that. Honestly, it almost reminds me of if like the sky was an ocean. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's something like it navigates through the air like it's water, almost. And I mean, look in the ocean and there's fucking weirder things, and aliens are in the ocean. Aliens are straight up in the ocean. Like
You've seen Abyss, I assume.
yeah, I'm just saying, but like things that are all
Which this
real.
actually kind of takes from a little bit.
Have you seen what an anglerfish looks like?
Yes, it's fucking fucked up, dude.
Yeah, I'm just saying, and there's weirder shit than that.
Yeah, and because we haven't gone into even most places in the earth.
Dude, like 11%, 12% of the ocean we've like maybe explored. That's like nothing. That's nothing. There's so much open.
Now, you know what's crazy
stuff.
about this, though? Like, when you think about it like that, do you think the sky operates in the same way? Like, we don't really know what's up in the sky, that kind of thing?
We don't know what's in the sky above the ocean, or, like, above mountain ranges, or, like...
Because in this one... So, in this... What happens is, so, like we said, Keith David dies. The way he dies is interesting because something falls from the sky. Like, you just see pellets of things falling from the sky, and he obviously looked up, and then a coin literally lodges all the way into his brain and kills him. And, you know, the excuse is that there's some plane went over or something, and a prop plane, I think they said it was, because they're by Hollywood, and a drone or something, whatever, dropped a bunch of shit. Which doesn't make any sense, because why does it have change and keys and all this, you know what I mean?
Like, stuff that people would have.
Yes, exactly. So, he dies in that way, and then it kind of... There's actually little hints of stuff happening where, like, in the background, you hear in the radio, actually. Like I said, this is why I said I wanted to watch it twice. In the radio, it actually plays, like, outside of the county where they live in, they're like, a group of campers went out into the mountain ranges on the outskirts of whatever, and then they went missing, and police are still trying to find them, and stuff like that. And I'm just like, all right, that's kind of cool, because, like, I don't pick up on stuff like that. But... So once they get introduced to Jupe and everything, like we already went into his backstory with the chimpanzee attack on set, they go back home, the sister and the brother, after the father dies, because now they have to take over for the ranch. And I actually like both of the actors. Daniel Kaluuya, I always pronounce it wrong. Daniel Kaluuya.
He was in Black Panther. Right?
He was in Black Panther, the first one, and he was also in Get Out. He was the main actor in that. And he, once again, does a good job because he's kind of playing this kind of bass, kind of monotone, just rancher. Like, it even shows that his sister, played by Keke Palmer, who I've seen in other stuff, I just can't really put my finger on it, but she did a really good job in this. He's very, like, bland. She's, like, kind of more of a city girl, and she's able to kind of sell everything more. But, so they complement each other really well. But they're coming back home, and then... They realize, hey, one of the horses are out of the stables, and it escapes and runs into the night. And this is where I started picking up on stuff. In the distance, you see, like, lights, right? And you hear, like, some voices going on and stuff, and it's actually at Jupe's place. And you hear the recording of him going, like, basically him calling the UFO. And then you just see, like, the power go out. And then... you hear the horse, like, making this crazy fucking noise like it's in pain. And then you just hear the noise kind of drift off into the wind and stuff. It's kind of creepy. Especially since they shoot it all in the dark. And the best way to watch this is definitely with the lights off. You have to watch this with the lights off or you don't get the full effect of everything. And, and then they play it up like they kind of build it up. First you hear the noises and then he looks up and then he sees just the disc go into a cloud. So you see the saucer at first. And he immediately runs home, and he tries to like kind of figure out in his head like what exactly he saw. And at that point, I don't know, Kiki Palmer is just like, all right, we have to try and catch this thing that you are so afraid of right now, like on film, because it pretty much insinuates, look, I think I saw a fucking UFO, and we just lost a horse, like.
Well, also Kiki Palmer's character is very much trying to.
Her character's name is M.
M,
and Daniels is OJ, which they already make like an OJ Simpson joke in this, which is kind of funny.
I forgot what I was gonna say about her. Oh well, she's like definitely the trying to make it big type, you know. So she sees getting a picture of a UFO as
a way to get famous,
you know, make it big quick.
And not for nothing too, the brother, they're so starved for money because they had to sell a lot of their horses. They sold it a lot to Jupe, which is played by Steve Yeun. And the entire time, like, look, if we, that's just like, he hooks up their new surveillance system after the first incident with the UFO, and he's like, wait, why are you guys asking me to like point these all the way up to the sky? Why are you guys asking me for all this stuff? And then he just goes off like, look, I could like monitor your stuff for free from like a remote. So he's like, no, you don't have to. He literally just inserts himself into this movie,
yeah,
and it's pretty fun. Like, he doesn't do it in such an annoying way. Like, he's actually kind of endearing, and I actually kind of like them. Oh, we paused for a second. I think we're back on now.
Yeah, everything's stopped.
Sorry, internet connection's a little wonky right now. Hopefully that doesn't like split up the feed too much. Oh Lord. Oh Lord, man, you take this away from me. I need more beverage. Anyways, Angel's, like I said, is he's kind of more like also the comic relief too, because he's the guy that freaks out, like that geeky guy is just like, we have to be super cautious about everything, but I know everything about UFOs. So I actually like the way that they discover that there is a UFO, that they're not just crazy. He comes back after like a night where they try like luring it out or something, and they couldn't get it because a praying mantis was on the camera and it couldn't capture what was happening. And he finds that there's a cloud in the distance that doesn't move. And when you actually stare at it in the video feed, you see all the clouds around moving and all that stuff, but you see this one little cloud right above the mountains that isn't moving. And that's how the ship is cloaking itself. Which I thought was really cool. Once again, one of the things I want to compare this to, it's like a UFO movie, but it's shot in the vein of Jaws. Where it's like you get the buildup of what's coming. You know what it is. You know what you're going to see. But they build it up still in such a way where there's a payoff when you see what it is. And they throw little things in where like little like MacGuffins or like misleads. There's a scene where these kids come and prank them, like in the middle of them doing all this shit, where they're wearing alien masks and shit or whatever, and they're just kind of like roaming around the garage and trying to freak out OJ. And it's just like, you think that these are the aliens exploring, you know, like,
yeah,
coming down from the ship, and so it's a good mislead, but then you realize that it's the fucking kids. Once again, at this point, we're gonna get into some pretty big spoilers because there is a twist by the end of this movie, because they discover, and I like the way they do the reveal on this. So, as they're trying to capture this on film, they also try to recruit this guy. He's and this guy is actually a cool actor I haven't seen in a while. His name is Michael Wincott. He plays Antlers Holst. It's like this. He's in this universe a famous cinematographer that can get the perfect shot, and that's what they're looking for, the perfect shot of this spaceship. And Michael Wincott, if you remember Alien Resurrection?
Yeah.
You remember the captain of the Betty?
Yeah.
That's him. He's also the bad guy in The Crow, the movie, like the main boss.
Oh, the weird guy who bangs his sister.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
Like, his voice is unmistakable, and not for nothing, he did a good job in this. I wish he was had more in it, but he did a good job in this. But he realizes that, or at least OJ realizes that, after the last encounter, he's just saying, "Hey, look, this thing doesn't move like now I remember what it is." So like I said, we're gonna get to some major spoilers at this point. So it turns out that Steve Yeun, he was throughout this movie, he's advertising this new attraction he has going on at his theme park, and it turns out that he's actually been baiting the UFO with horses and stuff. So the lights you saw at the beginning of the movie was his facility, and the recording and the voices you heard was his spiel of them introducing the UFO. Because every Friday he goes out there, turns on the lights, and then tries to get the UFO to come down, and it picks up the horse and it goes away. And so you find out that this big spectacle that he has going on with this is he's going to try and bait the UFO but have people there. So you finally see what he's doing, because he finally is opening up the show. And you see that there's, it's a small town. So you see like maybe 30, maybe 40 people.
They say 40 people.
Like 40 people maybe. And including an old co-star of his, the survivor of the chimpanzee attack where her face got all messed up. And Steve Yeun is doing his whole spiel where he's like, look, every Friday I've been coming out here and talking, not really talking, he's been baiting these aliens to come down. And today, you guys are going to see it firsthand. And what happens is, the thing comes down early. Because number one, he hasn't put out people in front of it before. And not that many people at once. So this thing basically comes down and just goes, hey, look, there's other things I can suck up. Comes down, sucks everything up, which is actually funny because the horse is in it, like the horse he was going to bait it with, it was in a glass container and it didn't get sucked up because it was protected by the thing, which is funny because the horse's name is Lucky. And I think it's like he lives throughout the whole movie, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, pretty sure.
And
also, you should mention that this thing, for some reason, it disrupts
electrical
fields. But I mean, like everything. It's almost like it's almost got like a roaming EMP.
Yeah.
Like it just nullifies anything remotely electronical.
Electronical? Is that a word?
Electronical. It's like a Bionicle, but electric. Dude, Bionicle was sick. Sorry, ADD. But yeah, that's what I mean. Anything electric, it just stops. So,
yeah, so like I said, it gives off every sort of indication that it's a UFO. But you see the people get sucked up into this thing. And not only that, there have been shots of inside of the whatever it is, and it looks like a control panel or like a hallway in a ship.
It's very geometrical.
Yeah, it's very geometrical.
It looks like a structure.
Yeah. And then what happens is you see the people get sucked up into it, and then you see them getting pulled into these like tubes and like this weird shit, and you're like, what is this? And then all of a sudden you see up top, it's the skeleton of one of the horses, and you realize that it's a digestive system. And then what happens after that is OJ tries to go back and get Lucky back, the horse. So he goes back there, and then he sees the thing roaming around. It sees him and it tries to come down, tries to suck him up. It can't because it's underneath. He's underneath like a canopy. And then, like I said, the reveal afterwards. Because at this point too, not for nothing, until he says something, it's still not registering to me what was happening. Because I was also once again very high when I saw this. But I'm like, all right, this is such a, like, maybe the aliens took him into this chute and they're just kind of like dissolving them. You know what I mean? I still didn't register what he was saying or what I was seeing. Because, like I said, this is a really weird take on a UFO movie. And then OJ kind of says, look, this thing doesn't move like a ship. This thing moves like something else. And they kind of do the reveal like it's a creature. It's not a ship.
Yeah.
The alien is the entire thing itself. And it just looks like a fucking saucer. Which,
it's like a fucking... I don't even know, man. Like I said, it's like the ocean. Imagine like a...
It's like a manta ray
It's like
almost.
it's like a manta ray mixed with an octopus mixed with a fucking chameleon. Like it's like...
But you know what it is? See, this is why I think Jordan... Like, people don't give Jordan Peele enough credit for this movie. I know it's a little bit overblown the way that he did this, stylistically, but think about it. A disc is something you would think is just a ship, but it's a perfect way to go through the air. It doesn't describe how it goes with propulsion or anything like that.
No.
But like I said, it's aerodynamic, it's quick, and it did move more like a Predator than it did a ship.
Here's one thing, going a little bit more into spoilers of this movie.
I mean, that was a pretty big spoiler.
Well,
right there.
no,
that was like one of the biggest ones. So.
Well, I'm just saying there's more shit. Like, so in line with you with the propulsion. So there's a point in this movie where I'm not gonna go too much into it, but let's just say you see the inside of this thing go on the outside, and it's gas. It doesn't have blood. There's no blood in this thing. It's gas.
Yeah, you're right.
So, like, imagine an organism has gas instead of liquid in it. It would be insanely light, you know. Like, that's
like I said, the design of this was interesting, and yeah, it's almost like you got to think about like the ocean when you really look at this.
Yeah,
thing.
It's swimming through the air,
and when the thing is too, the disc already when you see it is massive, but when you see the thing when it's fully plumed out. Holy shit, it's huge.
Yeah,
like it's like the size of almost like a mountain range.
You
like
ever
it's
seen
crazy.
Like when octopus, like, they'll make like their bodies into different shapes and like make discs.
Yeah. No.
I'm saying it's like a sky chameleon octopus jellyfish.
I think, like I said, it's fucking nuts. And I thought the design of the creature was really fucking cool.
I couldn't even tell you what it looks like, to be honest.
Yeah, like you have to just watch it.
It's crazy. I couldn't describe it. Like I said, it's geometric. It's like a geometric like ghost jellyfish.
You know, it's almost like when you people describe like biblically accurate angels.
Yeah, honestly, minus all the giant spinning gold rings and eyes. Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of like that's. And you know what's crazy? Like you could interpret it that way too, which is like, hey, maybe that's where the idea of an angel came from. You know what I mean? It's like maybe this thing comes down. You know, they don't really explain the creature, but at a certain point, you're kind of just the way Jordan Peele gets you in with the tension. And like I said, it's like Jaws. Like he revealed it slowly, and then eventually you get to this realization of what it is, and it's just fucking cool. And then when you actually see them trying to get this shot, and you see the wide open ranges and stuff, and you see the thing kind of going around, and you see them finally get the shot, like it's fucking gnarly. Like after a while, they obviously, you know, in classic creature feature fashion, they have to try and kill this thing because it gets out of control.
Yeah, always.
Because it literally kills a mass of fucking people.
Well,
and then not only that, after a while, it starts going after them particularly because it becomes territorial.
Well, it's also like fucking up all the livestock that they have.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that's their literal livelihood.
And the idea is that, I mean, obviously, I don't want to get into how they try and kill it or whatever, but the series of events that happens, really cool. It's really enthralling. We're gonna give the rating right now for it. Take my money. If I went to theaters to see this, I would have not been mad. Yeah, I would take my money.
I've been very satisfied seeing this in theaters.
You know, actually, I kind of wish I did because you get to see the creature in its full form, like in big, you know.
Well, I'm just saying also because
I think it actually was an IMAX too, which I'm kind of mad about.
The sounds.
Oh yeah,
that they make in the movie would have been really cool.
But that would have been terrifying, actually.
Yeah, because it's like I don't know how to describe the sounds it makes either. It's more like
no, because you know what it is.
It's almost like a whale. Like not really.
It's a whale, but also not only that, you hear the things dying inside of it.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
And that's what's terrible. It reminded me of like Annihilation when you hear like the creature,
the death bear,
the death bear that uses like the voices of the dead people that it killed. Like it's kind of like it's fucking crazy, and it's almost like the thing is intelligent enough to know like I know I'm fucking with you by doing this right now. Like it's weird because you know it's an animal, but you don't know how. It's almost like an octopus where you don't know how smart it is.
You don't know how smart it is, and it's probably as smart as an octopus. Octopus are super smart.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
They're almost sentient.
They are, but the thing is, you know, the reason that they don't ever evolve more than that is that their lifespan is so short and they have shitty fucking lifespans, and anything can kill them. As soon as something gets a hold of them, they'll kill them instantly.
Yeah, they don't have bones.
No. Anyways. But yeah, take our money for that. go watch fucking Nope. I think right now it's on Peacock. That's how we've been watching it.
Definitely, 100%.
Definitely worth it. Hell, if you want to even rent it, it's totally worth that too. Hopefully we don't get fucking booted off before we get to the end of this cast. But next thing is a review of Smile, and this, I mean, you really can't really spoil it too much just because it's not a basic movie, but it takes from a lot of different ones, which I really like. Like, I really like this movie, and I don't think comparing it to... So, everyone's been comparing it to It Follows. Have you ever seen It Follows, Mike?
Yes.
Okay. So, this is like a possession-style movie where... When you... I don't know if the preview... Because I never actually saw the preview for this. Actually, no. I remember seeing it once. I saw it once. Because I remember there was one scene in particular where I think they kind of ruined it with the preview. It was one shot. And we'll get to that. But like I said, Smile is actually written and directed by Parker Finn. And the cool thing about this, I tried looking up the other stuff that this guy did. This was actually a short film he did at first. And the studio liked it so much, hey, we're going to do a fucking full movie about it. And usually when people do that, it doesn't pan out that well. I think the only movie that it panned out well for besides that was Saw. Because Saw was actually a short film.
That's so weird you brought that up today. I was talking about Saw today and how, what's his name? Cary Elwes? How do you say his name?
Is that the doctor?
The doctor, the guy cuts his foot off.
Yeah, the guy that plays in,
he's fucking Robin Hood in Men in Tights.
He's also in Princess Bride.
He's also, yes, he's obviously in Princess Bride. He's also in Liar Liar, the, like, Jim Carrey's wife's boyfriend.
Oh my god, why is that the big pull for you?
I don't know. I just remember.
I love how you pulled that out. You're like, bam, Liar Liar.
I don't know. I love Liar. Well, actually, I don't love that movie.
It's an alright movie. I would watch it. You know what's funny?
Yeah.
You actually know what's funny? In the new Chucky series, Jennifer Tilly.
Oh yeah, she's in that movie.
Jennifer Tilly is as the demonically possessed Jennifer Tilly is watching that scene from Liar Liar on repeat because she's like, she is so beautiful. She is such a boss in this. By the way, the new Chucky series, check it out on Sci-Fi. It's actually pretty fucking funny.
I love that. I love that they did that.
Just that actually, specific movie.
Honestly, we should watch that shit. I think it's just cheesy because they're trying to cram that like family whatever nonsense. It's
I know, it's still funny.
I realized that like Jim Carrey's funniest when he has good direction, because he is just whatever he is. Just like Eddie Murphy is, like he needs a good director to focus that insanity in a funny way, because it can very easily go off the rails.
Like, tired now.
But I'm just saying, have you ever seen fucking Cable Guy? That movie's fucking awful, and I love Matthew Broderick.
It was awkward, man.
It's really awkward.
It's like awkward and not a fun way.
I enjoy Matthew Broderick, and I'm just like, I like Jim Carrey. And you know what? This movie sucks. I'm sorry if anyone likes that Cable Guy. I can't.
Cable Guy is not good.
It's not really that good.
I'm
sorry. And I had to watch it because I do enjoy Jim Carrey's whatever, but it's probably just the ADD in me and the kid. You know, because the way... What Jim Carrey is he's all of your intrusive thoughts winning, but plus hyperactivity. You know what I mean?
He's an id. He's pure id.
That's he's a force that just gets channeled. And my point is, like, Jim Carrey's good when he has the right direction.
Yeah, even for dramatic stuff like Eternal Sunshine.
Eternal Sunshine was good. He did this weird movie where he was not 23.
Okay, I was about to say, because that was not good either. That was not even his fault.
No,
that just was not.
I mean, I liked him in Sonic.
Oh, he was, because that was kind of like Jim Carrey going back to old Jim Carrey almost.
Yeah, I mean, it
was him being loose. That's what it was.
I mean, I love, like, you know, Ace Ventura and shit like that. Like,
yeah, those movies did not age well, but he's good in it. He is good.
I'm gonna say this: they could have aged worse.
Yeah, I guess
they could have aged.
They could have aged a lot worse.
Yeah, because they didn't drop one R word in that at all. You know, especially when they went to the mental hospital, they didn't say that shit once.
That is very true.
I'm like, props.
There's other stuff problematic
and there was
even like, in Nature Calls.
Yeah, in Nature Calls, that movie was just like, maybe there was like some dumb dick jokes, but even then, it was kind of funny. I think the
No,
lowest...
the movie is still fucking funny. I'm just
It's
saying.
hilarious. But yeah.
Look,
Jim
like I
Carrey-
said, I don't hold the respects now for how it was then, because that back then no one gave a shit.
Yeah. But I also like I said, I like Jim Carrey doing serious stuff. Like, he's a good actor, like I said, but he needs to be pointed in the right fucking direction, because then you get the Cable Guy, and then the same thing with Eddie Murphy. You get like the what's the one where he's like a holy man? I don't remember.
Wasn't it called? It wasn't just called Holy Man. Was
If it was called just Holy Man,
might have been.
Shit. But that movie was awful, and I remember Jeff Goldblum was in it. I was like,
here's the
shit.
thing. Number one, Eddie Murphy. After a certain point,
Is terrible.
You go into Pluto Nash territory and Norman territory.
Pluto Nash was. I was actually going to bring that up. Pluto Nash is notoriously bad. It is fucking awful. What's great, honestly, the best Eddie Murphy is the '80s to early '90s Murphy.
Oh, yeah.
I'm talking Trading Places, Coming to America, Beverly Hills Cop.
Yeah.
Like that kind of Eddie Murphy stuff. Like, but then there's also some real stinkers, like Brooklyn Vampire. Oof. He plays a white guy in it though. At one point, an Italian white guy, and it's fucking hilarious.
He's also a Jewish guy in Coming to America.
No, but that one is really good. The makeup for that is
Oh no,
awesome.
you didn't know.
You didn't know. In this one, you're like, that's not a real white person. You're like, something looks wrong. Like he's wearing a costume of himself. It looks weird. It looks really weird. But like, I don't know. Oh, you know what also is terrible? The Nutty Professor.
Yeah, but
The first one.
Nah.
I mean,
because you know what it is. When I saw it, I was like,
you were a little kid.
Yeah, I was a kid.
You were a kid. I was a kid. I thought that shit was hilarious, but it was fart jokes.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
I'm like, that's why I thought it was so good.
Yeah.
And now if I watch it now, I'm like, oh, why?
Yeah,
Okay.
but the only impressive scene is when he's everyone at the dinner table. Besides,
Well, that's what he was famous. That's what that movie's famous for. And everyone's tried to replicate it since, and it's never been good.
No, because
You should
that's
see
what
Tyler
I'm saying.
Perry trying to do it.
But I'm saying, like, he is good with the right direction. Like, there was someone
Yeah,
who...
but you could say that about like pretty much any actor. Like Channing Tatum kind of sucked until like he got with a certain director. I think it was
True that.
something
but
Sorkin.
Some people are just, good how they operate. But
And not for nothing, they like unlocked like charisma for him. I don't know what it is. Like it just certain directors are just good with that kind of stuff. And you know what's cool about like what's it called? So like going back to Smile actually, whoever the fucking director, like I said, for Parker Finn for this first big thing, he did a good job with these actors. Because a lot of these I've never heard of these people except for probably Jesse T. Usher's probably the most famous that plays the husband Trevor. He's God damn it, from The Boys. He's A-Train.
Oh, I don't know why I was thinking of The League.
Oh,
you said the, and I'm like, The League.
The Boys.
Yeah, A-Train.
But he plays A-Train, and
he's
like I said, I mean, he still plays kind of like an insufferable asshole.
He plays the same fucking character. He's a dipshit.
Pretty much, actually, just without power. He's A-Train without power.
He's in a suit. It's A-Train in a suit. Just look at it like that, and you'll be like, all right, this guy's a dick.
the main girl, I think her name is Sosie Bacon. She's Sosie Bacon. She
sounds pretty good.
I know, she sounds pretty good, and she's I've never really seen her before. But she was really good in this. And like I said, even all the minor actor direction was actually really good in this. Like, it opens up straight up with like, so she's a therapist. And they clearly already insinuate she has her own trauma that she's dealing with, because of course your therapist fucking sees a therapist. I don't care who you are. Like just how it happens. So she's dealing with her own trauma, but she's also working as like an emergency therapist or like an emergency care ward or whatever. And a patient comes in that's freaking out, saying that she's seeing something that's following her, and this thing that comes after her. It takes the form of somebody that they know, but it comes at them with this grotesque smile, and bad things happen all around them. And she keeps saying that this thing is going to kill her, and then eventually she freaks out, and she's like, there's something in the room, and of course, her name is Rose, Sosie Bacon's character.
We're going to refer to her as Rose from now on.
Yeah, it's Rose. But
so yes, when Rose did this,
so Rose sees this girl get up after freaking out and have this grotesque smile on her face.
well, you gotta remember, Rose turned around to call for security.
Oh yeah, call for help.
So
right.
she wasn't looking at her, because like she started seeing her, like she started choking. The girl was on the ground, started choking. Rose went and turned to the phone. Blah blah blah. She turns around. The girl is not where she was, and then she turns her head, and there she fucking is. And she's giving her that weird, creepy death smile, and
which is like, honestly,
really unnerving.
What I appreciate about this too is that a lot of the actors in this, they are like, not saying that they're not attractive, but they're not like super modeled up people like you would see in a lot of these kind of movies where it's just like, oh, these are like models and like, you know what I mean, like they're not super prettied up people, like they look like normal people.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Which I like I'm not saying like the actress is really cute, but I'm just saying like she just looks like someone you would see like at a supermarket or something, not like an actress.
Yeah, you're like normal.
And the way that she progresses in this movie, it's just it's pretty fucking crazy, and she does a really good job portraying someone that's in a lot of stress, because she sees you just said that the what you call it, the chick kills herself.
No, I never said that.
So yeah, the chick with the smile kills herself brutally.
So when she freaks out, so for some reason they had a vase, a vase, however you prefer to say it. It fell over, it broke. I didn't notice this the first time, but she cuts her. Well, I don't even know what she does.
She goes from her face to her jugular and up.
She goes like this. Like, imagine.
No, well, don't actually use that.
It's locked. It's a box cutter, but she just goes bop, bop. And you're like, oh, well, you just cut everything.
Yeah, no.
But she like almost cuts her whole face off.
Yeah, I thought that's actually what was gonna happen.
I thought, yeah, she but she like.
And the entire time she has a smile on her face.
Oh yeah, that doesn't stop. Yeah, it was pretty unnerving. So basically, this thing, well, it's kind of spoiler. This movie has a lot of themes of trauma. Like, yes. This thing thrives on trauma.
So here's the thing. This movie is a combination, like I was starting off with a lot of things. Like, number one, It Follows. It's a little bit of The Ring.
And it was almost a little bit of Drag Me to Hell.
Drag Me to Hell, Paranormal Activity I picked up on, and then like It. If you really think about it, because it's like, so this thing survive, like you said, it thrives on trauma.
Yeah.
And clearly she already has her own trauma with her, so her thing is she's dealing with that she saw her mother kill herself when she was a kid.
Well.
And she's kind of still been dealing with it.
Dude, so actually that's not, well actually I guess you're right, because at this point in the movie that's what you know.
Yeah. And so, wait, I lost my train of thought.
Oh, because she watched her mom kill herself.
Thank you. So this thing is thriving on not only that trauma, but the way the thing passes on to people is that it takes over someone and kills itself in front of somebody else, because that in itself is developing trauma for that person.
That's like a major trauma, and it somehow like
it
marks people like that.
Yeah. So the person, you see the smile, the person kills themselves, and then suddenly that thing is now attached to you. And the reason,
like a curse.
Yeah, like I said, like it's like The Ring, because not only is it a curse, it doesn't kill you immediately. It has to give you a certain amount of time. Like, it softens you up almost.
Well, no, yeah, it literally like
it really has to. It builds up.
It tenderizes you.
Yeah, it basically just traumatizes you to the point where it's like, you have no choice but to get taken over by me, so I can do this to you. So, because what this thing does is throughout the movie, it basically just starts. It haunts her like almost like The Ring, or like, even like I said, like I won't even say it, like Pennywise, because Pennywise feeds on fear, and all he does is like scares these kids unto the point where he can eat them, like pretty much what this thing does, because she starts seeing things. And the cool thing about this movie, like I said, I'm bad with horror movies, but the jump scares and the tension all were awesome payoffs. Great payoffs for every jump scare that you get in this movie.
Yeah, there was no. Well, I mean, there was a little Not actually, no, not really.
No, there was a little bit of gore here and there. Like,
No, I was gonna say bullshit jump. Like there was
yeah.
all the stuff that happened in this movie was some pretty fucking weird shit.
Because you know what it is?
Like you would definitely get free if that shit happened to you. You would be freaking the fuck out.
Oh, absolutely. Because here's the thing, like when the first girl comes in that she witnesses kill herself, she is very believable. Like she's like, oh my god, you're still not listening to me.
Also, we never mentioned that the girl that came in, like. She was like a PhD student. Like,
yeah, no, like
she was super fucking smart, and she like says that she's like, I'm not fucking crazy. Like, I'm really smart, actually. Like, I know this is fucking crazy, and it sounds crazy, and like, it's nuts because like everyone in this movie acts very realistically. Because like everyone, like, there wasn't any dumb shit. Like everyone was like, holy fuck, like.
Yeah, no, I like.
No
a lot of the reactions were believable.
Yes.
Like, I mean, granted, I think some people might have the only person I'll say probably underacted a little bit, and the guy was kind of always kind of a hard sell when it comes to being an actor, but he was good in this, not for nothing. Like I said, good director, was able to direct. The guy's name is Kyle Gallner, I believe, but he plays Joel, and that's a cop that tries to help her throughout the movie, and. Like I said, it's very much like The Ring, like where you said there's a cop that's trying to help this girl that's being haunted or whatever. Like I said, it's a little bit like It. Like you said, Drag Me to Hell, Paranormal Activity, and everyone compares it to It Follows, but It Follows really is it's a little bit like it, but this is a more elevated version of kind of all of these things put together.
Have you ever seen It Comes at Night?
Yes, I did not like that.
That movie sucked, but.
Not a fan. I think that was actually part of my bottom 5.
You know what's crazy? If it was actually something, it would have made that movie better.
I mean,
like if there was something truly, truly, truly horrifying at the end of that movie, it might be a really good movie because the tension they build, you're like, what the fuck is happening?
I know what it is. It's supposed to just be like human tension, just in general.
I know, but fuck that.
Yeah, exactly.
Give me something that scares me to death.
Yeah, same thing as the other movie I thought I was gonna see called Bug, which is people that are trapped in like a whole. Not trapped. I thought it was gonna be about people trapped in a motel where like bugs or a disease was taking over people or something. That's not what it is. It's like a statement on crack and drug abuse, where these people literally smoke crack and believe, like I said, there's bugs or something in the room, and so they cave themselves in, and they're just being high on crack. Like it's really fucking stupid. But, anyways, back to this. Like, she is basically haunted by this thing throughout the movie, and like I said, a lot of the jump scares they pay off, and the way the tension is built up. Like I said, kudos to the director. The way the tension is built up, like you feel like you're her. Because the entire time you're trying to see, is it in the background? Is it going to pop out this way? Is it going to pop out that way? And a lot of the jump scares, you don't expect how they're going to do them. And I'm not going to ruin what they are, but you don't expect the way that they come at you. Because you think it's going to be one thing, and then bam, it's something else. And like I said, it does really good with the misleads and stuff. It's a lot of build-up. And then when you finally get to the end with the creature reveal, it's like... I thought it was pretty fucking cool the way it looked.
Oh,
and it's almost practical effects.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it
had to be like half and half.
The reveal shot is 100% practical effects. That's what makes it look so good.
And the
reveal shot for this movie is absolutely worth. It's the reason you watch this movie. To be honest, like, it's a really good one shot, super practical effect. Horrific reveal, like probably one of the better reveals, and
for this kind of movie, yeah.
Oh, and when you're finally like, that's it. You're like, that's it. Holy shit!
And then you realize why the first girl reacted the way she did, and you're like, oh, that's why she starts freaking out.
You're like,
and I would be like, I would act the same way. I would be like, fuck, I'm done.
You're like, that makes sense. I want nothing to do with this. So
exactly, and it's like. And it's funny too because it does the thing. Like I said, this is pretty much a spoiler review or whatever. But like the cool thing I liked about this is that they do this thing where they figure out a loophole to this whole pattern, because eventually the cop believes Rose, and starts to help her because you realize there is a pattern of people that are getting killed in this, like a chain of people that leads all the way down one line of suicides, of people that are witnessing suicides, committing suicides, and continuing the chain. And then there's one loop, and it's because some guy figured out, and I actually really like this actor. His name is Rob Morgan.
Oh yeah, Rob Morgan. He's one of the dog walkers on the show. It's Bruno, which I highly recommend. It's a show about a guy who lives in Brooklyn with his puggle. It's sick. The dog's awesome. His name is Bruno. But there's a dog.
He was also in Don't Look Up. He was actually really good in that too.
Whoa. Yeah, but he's in that show and he's pretty funny on it.
But like I said, the brief moment that he's in here did a great job. He
freaks out.
Well, rightfully so.
Oh, yeah.
Because so she comes in, she's on her last leg because basically at this point she's run down when she comes to meet this guy. Because like I said, you see the progression of how twitchy she gets, how crazy she is, and not for nothing, it sucks because people don't believe her because also her mother, they say because how she died, she was mentally ill.
Well,
you'll do the reveal afterwards.
Yeah.
You do the reveal because I was like not super paying attention to that part, but like, I tried watching it twice. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't want to watch this twice because this movie actually freaked me out. Like this is a fucking freaky movie, man.
Yeah, no.
Like I haven't been freaked out by a movie like that in a while.
It's one of those where you can't even use the movie's logic to save. Well, I mean, you can. You can, but you have to decide to go there. And like I said, I'm just about to describe. It's like so the guy got out of it by. Look, it got attached to him, but he killed somebody else in front of somebody else. So basically the thing just goes, hey, I'm just going to attach myself to the person that just witnessed you kill that person. The trauma.
It goes after the trauma. And so once it jumps to the other person, the other guy's home free, except now he's in fucking jail. Because he fucking killed somebody.
But here's the
because the thing is, he has to make a spectacle of it. Because someone has to witness it.
About to say it. Then and spectacle, he says, make it messy. He's like the worse, the better. Like the more trauma that you inflict on someone, it's like it's like exactly. And the cop that helps the girl, they talk about like a string of almost like 20.
Yeah, 20 people.
Or something like that, and he talks about like he doesn't get specific, but he's like the things that are like these people are doing to themselves.
Yeah, and they have actually shown like a couple of pictures.
They show one or two pictures. Morbid curiosity here. I would have wanted to see a few more.
Yeah,
it's like the Event Horizon cut. I need to see it.
Well,
the Lost cut. Well,
the two were pretty horrific. They showed the guy that actually traumatized the first girl, which was a guy that used the claw part of the hammer against his face and basically gouged out his jaw and shit.
This whole part of his face
was gone.
like literally
gone.
Like if he like tried to take a nail out from a beam, but it was his face.
Yeah, the whole thing was gone.
And then there was a picture of a woman. It looked like she like gouged her eyes out with something, but.
Yeah, she gouged her eyes out.
I don't really know how that would kill you, but...
The shock of it, probably, if you go into shock and not only you just bleed out.
True. I keep forgetting it's real life is not movies.
But... Yeah. So, and like, not for nothing also, like, they show, like, basically everyone dies with this smile on their face. And, so she finds out this is the only way she can't do it. And... It's kind of crazy because by the end, like I said, like we're gonna like this is a spoiler, but like by the end, like it actually still plays out kind of like The Ring, where it's just like, yeah, you're not gonna out logic this thing. You either do this or you're going to fucking die.
Yeah.
So like she like basically tries to pull like a Freddy Krueger thing where she just like. The thing finally confronts her, and because she decides I have to isolate myself in my old mother's house.
Well, yeah, because if she's not around anyone,
then she can't traumatize anybody else.
Yeah, exactly. So it can't jump to anyone else. So her logic is to go to her old family house, which is fucking God knows where, and
board it up and everything.
And also, I mean, like where her mom died. Like,
yeah.
Which, yeah. So yeah, she goes there.
So here's the reveal.
Well, yeah, she goes there and, like, you know, there's been themes of trauma, so it shows up like her dead mom. And you're like, oh, well, that's a really good way to fucking, fuck with someone. Tries to fuck with her. She goes, fuck you. And they actually show that it wasn't so much that she watched her mom, like, commit suicide. Her mom was, like, ODing. And you see her, like, her mom is like, oh, call mommy fucked up. Like, call 911. And she goes...
She froze up.
Well, no, she didn't freeze up. She goes, no.
Oh, I don't remember that part.
Yeah, she goes, no. And she fucking closes the door.
Jesus. I don't remember that part.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that would be fucked up if that didn't happen. I was high when I watched that movie. But I'm pretty sure she goes, nuh-uh, and fucking leaves. Because her mom was a crazy bitch.
Yep. That makes sense.
I think that's why she did it. Because she's like, if I call them, they're going to save you. And then I have to fucking live like this still. I think that's why she went, nuh-uh, and then closed that door. And then once she did that, the thing was like, all right, well, now I got to fucking freak you out even more. So she, like, I don't even know what happens. She, like, Silent Hills, whatever.
Oh, yeah, she
and,
becomes like the fucking Slender Man or some shit.
Or,
like,
you ever see that bad movie, Legion?
Yeah, the thing with the spider leg.
The weird, like,
spider lady.
The things. She, like, becomes, like, this weird...
Oh, yeah, no, it's just...
version,
yeah.
Like, long-limbed version of her mom. And she just, like, tries to strangle her or some shit like that. And then,
like I said...
For some reason, she lights this shit on fire. She lights this entity on fire.
Because you know what it is? It's like, it's fucking with her because it's just, like I said, if she tries to Freddy Krueger and go, look, you're in my head... I can control my head.
Oh yeah, I forgot. They show you that she fucks this thing up.
Yep, and then they actually play it off like she somehow lit it on fire. Oh, yeah, it blows up in the house.
She broke its arm.
She broke its arm.
And she lit it on
fire. The whole house went up, and then she leaves.
And you see it crawling after her, and it's like
it's terrifying.
It's terrifying, and like a really good example of not the relic things on fire.
Yes, that was a really good CGI thing on fire.
Yeah, that thing was scary because it was crawling you, and you can see one, it looked very hurt. Two, it looked absolutely terrifying, and you're just like, all right, cool. I don't need to see this anymore. But yeah, they make it seem like she won. She fucked that thing up.
Yep, and then she tries going home, and not even going home. She goes to the cop's place, and she's like, "Hey, can I stay here?" And then next thing you know, the reveal is that, like, the cop starts smiling. And then she's like, oh, fuck, I have to leave. It's still here. And then she tries to leave the apartment, and she's still at the fucking cabin. And then not only is she at the cabin, because she's outside of the cabin now, the cop actually pulls up behind her. Because he somehow, I think he traced the phone or something.
Something like that. Some cop.
Because some cop, she traced the phone or something. He's like, all right, I'm here to help you. And she goes, which, honestly, she should have just went with him. She should have just went with him and drove away and then tried to, like, get away. But she runs back into the house, tries to barricade herself, and next thing you know, she sees the thing again, and this time she can't do anything. And the thing not only just, like, she's screaming because she can't do anything at this point, and the thing not only looks like the mother, then rips its face off to show what the demon actually looks like, and it's almost like...
It's crazy. It's like a mouth inside of a mouth inside of a mouth.
That's smiling.
It's like all this weird... It's like got all these teeth around it and shit.
It's almost like a Violator's length jaw of, like, smiles and stuff. And then the top kind of reminds me... Have you ever seen Return of the Living Dead?
By the way, see the smoke?
Yeah, the Return of the Living Dead, where you see the opening zombie. It's kind of like that. It looks crazy. And... you actually see what it does. Like, you see it's, like, rip her jaw open to fit its entire body. And it's a huge motherfucker.
It's big. It's scary.
Yeah, it unhinges her jaw like a fucking snake and tries to get in her body. And then by the time that the cop breaks into the fucking room, she's already possessed. And she actually goes out in a pretty boss way. Like,
yeah, it's pretty terrifying.
And the thing is, too, like, with these smiles... they aren't, like, CGI exaggerated smiles. It's like they basically told the actors, "Hey, exaggerate your smile as much as you can," and they just did a little bit of a touch up because they look almost like natural smiles, just super fucking creepy.
Yeah, they're very, and it's almost like very uniform too.
Yeah, like
they all had the same smile. It's like they were all
but
like,
it's still their smile. You know what I mean? It doesn't look like they just plastered on this certain smile. It's like they're all smiling, but they're all smiling a certain way, but it's their smile. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It looks natural.
No, yeah, no.
Which is why it's so fucking creepy.
Yeah, I kind of like the marketing for this movie.
Oh
too.
yeah, that's actually why it was also a big deal.
Yeah, I like the marketing. I like the fact that they had people smiling at things and just being weird and shit.
It was good marketing, not for nothing. Like I said, this was actually a very well put together movie, and I love how this is like the only way I feel like it might be a little bit like It Follows is that it disorients, like where It Follows is very subtle how it disorients you. This used a lot of camera work where you're like, oh, a beautiful landscape, but then you just see it keep turning the camera where it's upside down, and you're just like, all right, why is this? And it just adds to the tension and the creepiness of this whole movie because, like I said, kudos to the director. You feel like you're with her, and you're that paranoid. Like, where is the next thing gonna come from? When am I gonna get mine? When are you finally gonna see her get hers?
Yeah,
like it's really good.
It fucks with people.
Yeah, and not for nothing. Like I said, for the movie, like, as our rating, once again, take my money.
Yeah,
if I saw this in theaters, I probably would have freaking out 10 times harder.
I would have liked it.
Yeah, but like, Smile, 100% take my money. It was fucking sick.
Yes. 100%.
Anyways, but I don't know if you want to keep going with this or.
How long have we been doing this?
I don't know, probably more than an hour at this point.
I mean, the whole movie played.
No, like mostly like half of it or something.
Okay.
But you know what? I think we'll continue on for like another time. But just some quick promotions and stuff. Please check over my other podcast I do with my girl Marcy X Over. I run the admin page for the Instagram X_over pod, I think it is. If I'm fucking that up, I'm sorry, Marcy. And also I've reformatted my Instagram to Harkonnen Comics, so I'm now gonna be posting a lot more stuff that's more involved with the Gooned Up Nerds Collective.
Wait, which one did you change?
Harkonnen 3750
is Harkonnen Comics.
Is now Harkonnen Comics.
Okay. Perfect.
And also follow Mike at Merch Hoarder, obviously. Follow our boy Adam at Angry Young Man Pod for Angry Young Man Podcast. He just put out a really sick episode with the guys from Physical Altercation. Shout out to Physical Altercation. And
follow Dylan if you want to play Tarkov and have him yell at you.
Yeah, follow Dylan.
Or have him shoot you on some ridiculous thing. Or he'll just shoot you with a Nerf gun in real life.
But yeah, we'll do a better job there, but we just got really heavy on the reviews tonight.
Yeah.
And also, we usually have Dylan, too, to keep us focused, and he's not here right now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he also didn't go to Prayer for Cleansing. I mean, we could talk about Prayer for Cleansing for me in like 5 to 10 minutes, because, I mean, it's definitely something worth talking about, because, like, it's weird when you go to a place where, because, like, I don't know, Oscar and I have traveled definitely to quite a few places to see bands play music.
Yes,
and
we did.
North Carolina, like, I haven't been to too many shows in the South. You know, I have been to a couple shows in, you know, Richmond, a couple shows in, shit. I don't even remember right now.
Pennsylvania?
No, I'm talking about the South. There was, North Carolina. So, North Carolina, Virginia, and I'm trying to remember the other one. I don't know.
Georgia, Florida, Texas, New Mexico.
Was it Florida?
Canada.
Maybe it was Florida. I don't know. I don't remember. Whatever. But North Carolina definitely seemed to have a pretty strong scene over there, especially in Greensboro. We were in Winston-Salem, which seemed to be it used to be like a hub apparently in the late 90s, early 2000s.
Sick bands came out of there.
Dude, very sick bands. So, I mean, first off, you already know, anyone who knows me, I love Glass Casket. Glass Casket is a phenomenal North Carolina band. Same goes for, obviously, Prayer for Cleansing. And Undying from there, right?
I believe so. Azazel, I think, too.
Yeah, dude, Azazel was sick. Catharsis is not, though. I forgot where they're from.
Yeah, but Catharsis was sick too. Like that was a
Catharsis
really
is
solid
really
lineup.
Yeah.
Azazel, Catharsis, Undying, Prayer for Cleansing.
Yeah.
Undying was headlining the second day, which is where we went.
Yeah. We tried to get some tickets. Shout out to what's his name? Shane from Down in It. Hooked it up. Unfortunately, we couldn't get enough tickets because we were there with,
They were the whole crew.
We were stupid. We needed a lot of tickets. We were dumb, but whatever. Like, I appreciate him trying to help me out. Very much appreciated. But man, I would have loved to go on both nights. Anyone who got a fucking record, please don't be an asshole. Please don't be an asshole. Don't do what that guy did. That's not cool. Record shouldn't be $1,000 fucking dollars.
Jesus Christ, $1,000 record.
$1,000. And you know what's crazy? The CD. Good luck finding that shit, dude. I mean, you can totally find it, but you're gonna pay anywhere from $80 to $120 for that.
Jesus.
And I'm talking about Rain in the Endless Fall. That shit is a essential metalcore classic.
It's so fucking good.
Literally, you can dissect the songs on that shit, and you can be like, wow, there's whole bands that were started because of this breakdown. You know? You're like, wow.
I mean, it was really fucking cool hearing all that shit live.
Dude,
I mean, it was like being in a time capsule.
I know, I can't believe I saw it. And what's funny is, what's his name? Lil Chris from Tourniquet was there. I'm like, I saw your band cover Sonnet. So, like, yeah, sick. It was really cool to see a lot of those songs get played. And they sounded tight. Aside from the singer, you know, obviously.
He blew out his vocals.
Yeah, he blew out his vocals the first night.
I mean, what are you going to do? It happens.
It happens. And also, like, I'm sure...
It was still sick.
Dude, the guy hasn't played music since, what, 2001 or 2? Or something crazy like that, you know? Like, whatever. Like, that shit's cool. But, oh, man. Every band that played, Azazel was really cool.
Azazel, I fucking love Azazel,
surprisingly heavy. Very cool. And also, they sounded really good. They sounded exactly the same still.
Oh, yeah, no, they were fucking sick. Like, I've been listening to Azazel on Spotify ever since then. Yeah. It's so fucking
Catharsis
good,
is cool. They're an interesting
they're very
band.
interesting,
they're a deep dive band. You gotta get into them. They're very activist-y, but you know what? They're about it.
They are about it. They are about it.
They're those guys that I feel like are, you know, cutting locks off of monkeys' cages and shit. And I'm like, that sounds like they're...
Some 12 monkey shit?
Yeah, whatever. You know what I mean? They're doing it. I respect
They're doing it. I respect people who are
about it and just don't talk about it. Like, that's, you know, people that just complain about things and don't do anything to change it, just shut the fuck up. Like, stop. Like, either change the environment in which you don't like, or shut the fuck up.
Yep.
Like, do something about it.
But, like I said, the whole show was fucking sick. Every band killed it. The whole floor was moving the whole time, which is great.
Oh, and dude, people go hard. I was way impressed with the fucking...
oh, yeah, people were throwing down, man.
For real. Like, I was like, whoa. There's people that I actually might have to be aware of. There's some big people jumping around.
Yeah, it was pretty sick, man.
Like, they make them big down in the South.
They make them big and beefy.
Yeah, they're all...
Not for nothing, too. Food down there was fucking awesome.
Oh, my God.
The food was
If you are ever
good.
in Winston-Salem, we cannot recommend Crankies.
Anymore.
With a K. Krankkies. That place will hit every spot that you need. You like biscuits? You like gravy? You like fried chicken? You want iced coffee and some crazy shit like that? Like,
yo, and their vegan shit is actually good. That's actually what I had there, and it was fucking delicious.
Oh, and their potatoes are really good.
Oh,
too.
yeah, they're tots.
Dude, honestly, that place, I am not used to getting... It sounds like an asshole. Outside of New York, I'm not really expecting a good breakfast. But North Carolina,
respect. That shit was awesome.
My only regret is that we're probably never going to taste that food again.
Yeah, probably not.
Unless there's some other crazy shit in North Carolina. But even then, like, I don't know, honestly. like we did pretty good. Me and Oscar drove, but like if we let people know who were coming with us, like yo, you're gonna be driving, it might be a little bit better for us. But also, I only trust us.
Yeah, I mean, we drove a lot. That was what?
Drove a lot.
10 hours? 12 hours? No, 10 hours.
We
10
drove.
hours.
We definitely drove.
First night, I think, was 8 hours. We did it overnight.
We did.
And
but you also realized,
honestly, the best way to travel is overnight.
Yeah, it was a 10-hour trip, not during the day.
No, during the day sucked because everywhere had traffic. You're not going to avoid traffic going up anywhere. There's nowhere to avoid it. And it sucks. Because, well, actually, we didn't hit that much when we hit New York. We hit most of it, like, in Virginia, around Baltimore.
Yeah, it was stupid. I don't know why the fuck any of that... Traffic is the dumbest shit, dude. It's just...
yeah. I remember one of the things that was causing was just people rubbernecking some accident. Not even an accident.
Nothing.
It was like a car pulled over or some shit.
It was nothing. 45 fucking minutes for nothing.
No.
Like, literally... nothing.
But cool thing about stuff like that is, I think the first night, like, we found this radio station on Spotify was just playing old school banger after banger. They were playing Blood Has Been Shed, Evergreen Terrace. They were playing Nehemiah. They were playing all sorts of crazy shit. I don't know what fucking station I was on, but it was fucking awesome. And then Mike was putting on shit the whole way back. Like, that's when I listened to Section 8. I forgot what else you fucking put on.
We listened to the I Dwell on Thoughts of You.
Oh, yeah,
that shit. I put on a bunch of Grimlock.
Well,
basically, I just put on stuff that you can't listen to on Spotify. I put on Sons of Abraham.
Oh, yeah, we were listening to that, too, for a while.
Yeah, this, like...
Because I was wondering, like, why is this not continuing? And you're like, oh, because it's all on fucking YouTube.
Yeah, because there's specific shit on YouTube. I didn't play any of the Eye to Eye stuff. Eye to Eye is a really, really sick, upstate, hardcore band.
Like, get the Wawas.
Okay, hang on.
Also,
my man Kenny, by the way, who is in Eye to Eye.
We got Wawa's tea on the way back.
Kenny Eye to Eye, he's the man. Shout him out. He's always doing merch for All Out War. So if you ever see them, say what up and listen to Eye to Eye. Eye to the number 2. Eye. They know they got music on Bandcamp, but you got to buy it. If you want to buy it, go for it. I don't really use Bandcamp that often, so Kenny.
So whatever, no harm, no foul.
No, I'm saying, Kenny, hit me up. I'll make some new art. We can do that old logo. That shit's super tight, but print some fucking music. I want to listen to it, or put it on Spotify, please. Because you can only listen to it on YouTube, and it's just a compilation of all their music. So it's like every recording's like wildly different.
Oh God!
But it's good stuff.
I mean, that's why I like YouTube. You get those deep dive stuff.
No, for real. That's why, like I said, shit.
You get a lot of old demos.
What is it? I can't remember the fucking number. 10 Ways to Say I Love You. That's the Section 8 band. Is it?
Got it, Mike?
Fuck, it's 9 Ways to Say I Love You from 97. Yeah, definitely worth 40 minutes of...
Pass one of them talks. I'm going to drink it.
We need a Carl shirt, too.
Oh, yeah, we need your Carl shirt.
Oh, dude. Wow, that kind of hurt.
How do you think ducks feel in the ocean?
You know what we should do? We should make like a Carl shirt, like on a shirt. Him wearing a shirt, like maybe just like I don't know, an integrity shirt or something funny.
Alright, I don't want to get too far into this, but I think
Carl would fuck with Power Trip. I feel like.
Oh, absolutely.
He would fuck with Power Trip. He'd be like, "Oh, these guys are awesome. Like, they're freaking rules.
They don't need no instructions to know how to rock."
They're almost good as that the drummer from Foghat.
Oh shit. Anyway, I think that's gonna be it for us tonight. But thank you guys for tuning in. Hopefully next week Dylan will feel better and we'll get to do something else. But yeah, thanks for joining us. For whoever joined us, please check out all our Instas. What happened?
If anyone's still in here, thanks for chilling.
Yeah, thanks for anyone that was actually sticking around and chilling with us. So we'll see you guys later. Peace.